সবার সাথে 90.4 Startup Talk with Zaki Adnan. Startup Talk.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Welcome to yet another episode of Startup Talk with me, Zaki Adnan, on Dhaka FM 90.4. We have the amazing Bijon Islam. I hear, Bhaiya, people like to call you Superman. So
that's that's not true.
So the Superman, the co-founder and the CEO of LightCastle Partners. So LightCastle Partners are doing some amazing things, some, what should I say, really revolutionary things in the field of data and beyond just data. So আজকে আমরা LightCastle Partners এ কথা বলবো, আজকে আমরা বিজন ভাইকে নিয়ে কথা বলবো. So ভাই, আপনি কেমন আছেন?
I'm ভালো আছি. Thank you for inviting.
Absolutely, it's such an honor that you took the time out of your life
to join
us. I know you're like super busy, as you know any entrepreneur at this day and age is. So আপনি recently Korea গেলেন.
Yeah.
So how was the trip?
It was excellent. মানে South Korea যদি তুমি দেখো, মানে it had a in the 70s it was GDP per capita was below Bangladesh. Its mainly focus was on RMG, and they were making wigs.
Right.
And now just in 40 years so their per capita GDP is 20,000 plus. And কত international brand তুমি Samsung বলো, LG বলো, Kia বলো, Hyundai বলো, মানে they have become like I think only country যারা aid recipient থেকে aid giving হয়ে গেছে. Their transformation story is just amazing.
Wow. And how big is South Korea? It's pretty big, right?
It's a big in terms of geography. I was mainly in the capital, Seoul city যেটাকে বলে. But what's really amazing is that they focused on manufacturing and bringing some world-class products. মানে products like Samsung এর তো huge products আছে, but car থেকে smartphone থেকে household electronics থেকে শুরু করতে, and now they're going into biomedicine and IT based. যেমন ওদের চায়নাতে huge game market. Korean drama is very popular. In fact, কিছুদিন আগে পর্যন্ত K-pop আমরা জানি যে Gangnam Style was the most viewed. So সব দিক থেকে they have just transformation is phenomenal from where they were in the 70s to till that. Well, this is my first time, so I was very impressed.
Nice. And did you get the chance to chill and have fun, or was it just work?
It's mostly work. It was a project with ADB and Korean Export-Import Bank, so it was mostly a lot of work. But I had fun. I liked working. That's
nice, amazing, super. So, bhaiya, আজকে আমি আপনার সাথে যে অনেকগুলো জিনিসপত্র নিয়ে কথা বলতে চাই. And to start off with, I would like to ask you like the most fundamental question. মানে honestly, one of the primary objective of the show is to inspire people, is to inspire aspiring entrepreneurs. So I personally, and I'm sure our listeners are shunche, they personally really would love to hear your story, because were you born and brought up in Bangladesh?
ঢাকাতেই born and brought up, so all through my life here.
আপনি কোন স্কুলে ছিলেন?
আমি প্রথমে ছিলাম উইলসে, পরে ও লেভেল পর্যন্ত, এ লেভেল আই হ্যাভ টেকেন ফ্রম মাস্টারমাইন্ড।
ওকে, তারপর আপনি আইবি জয়েন করলেন,
রাইট? সো ওইটাও একটা স্টোরি ছিল। সো মাস্টারমাইন্ড থেকে গ্র্যাজুয়েট করার পর যখন ছিল যে ইংলিশ মিডিয়ামে, তখন কোন জায়গায় এক্সাম দিয়ে চান্স পাওয়াটা খুব ডিফিকাল্ট ছিল, রাইট? সো প্রাইভেট ইউনিভার্সিটি ওয়াজ আ সেকেন্ড অপশন। So they're kind of looking at opportunities here. So fortunately I got selected for IUT, Islamic University Technology. So I started there for a semester in engineering because my family wanted to study engineering. I also thought
engineering. Science, physics, chemistry,
maths.
So engineering পড়তে হয়েছিল, right?
Engineering আমি এক সেমিস্টার পড়লাম IUT তে। পড়ার পর what I decided was that I wanted to try business. তখন আবার আমি এক্সাম দিয়ে আবার IBA তে got selected. তখন I entered IBA আর কি।
So আপনি কি মানে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কি আপনি আসলে পড়তে চেতেন না?
আমার মজা লাগতেছিল, বাট মানে একটা পর্যায়ে গেলে যেটা মনে হচ্ছিল যে টু বি ফ্র্যাঙ্ক, মানে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং তখন ইট ওয়াজ দ্য ট্রেন্ড অ্যান্ড এভরিথিং, বাট স্টার্ট করার পর আই থট দ্যাট আই ওয়ান্টেড টু বি ইন বিজনেস। আর যখন আইবিএ তে হয়ে গেল, তখন অলসো মাই প্যারেন্টস ওয়ার অলসো সেইং দ্যাট consider that. But আমার এমনি just tell the listeners my secret motivation was that IBA তে পড়লে আমি বাসায় থেকে পড়তে পারি, আর IIT তে গেলে আমার হোস্টেলে যেতে হতো। So I took the easy way out there at that point.
আচ্ছা, okay. So আপনি IBA তে যখন পড়তেন, তখন থেকে কি you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Not at the first semester. প্রথম দিকে it was but তারপর যত দিন গেল তত we had a group. আমাদের একটা ফ্রেন্ড গ্রুপ ছিল 7-8 জনের, and we really wanted to try out different things. So আমরা মেন্টরসে পড়াতাম, এবং we actually tried out different businesses. যেমন আমরা একবার IBA তে একটা ফিল্ম ফেস্টিভ্যাল
Okay.
লঞ্চ করলাম
আচ্ছা,
উই অ্যাকচুয়ালি সল্ড টিকেটস ইন IBA আমরা
Nice.
বেশ কিছু এরকম স্মল বিজনেস অন দ্য সাইড বানাতে গেছিলাম একবার ঠিক করলাম যে মাশরুম সেল করার বিজনেস করব
But magic mushrooms or legit
not
mushrooms?
actually mushrooms selling in supermarkets but it didn't work out but ওই আইডিয়াটা ছিল যে আই থেকে গ্রাজুয়েট করার পর আমরা সব বিজনেসই করব
আচ্ছা 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 সো তারপরে আপনি গ্রাজুয়েট করে কি ইউ স্টার্টেড এলসিপি
নো সো গ্রাজুয়েট করার পর যেটা হলো যে আমাদের গ্রুপের থেকে সবাই দে স্টার্টেড গেটিং অফার্স ইন ডিফারেন্ট কোম্পানিজ স্পেশালি মাল্টিনেশনাল কত অফার পাওয়ার পর গেটস ডিফিকাল্ট সো আমাদের আইডিয়া ছিল যে কয়েকদিন চাকরি করে ছেড়ে দিব
রাইট
সো এটা করতে গিয়ে আই গট অ্যান অফার ফ্রম CTNA and I entered there so almost 4 years ওখানে কাটাই দিলাম আর ওখানকার ইনভেস্টমেন্ট ব্যাংকিং ট্রেজারি বা
how was your experience with CTNA
so CTNA I entered as a management associate which is like an MT program এবং আমার different department rotation ছিল treasury investment bank corporate bank it was a very good experience
amazing experience
right
I'm sure
it was hectic there are days when I got out at 3 a.m. at night and got in at 7:30 that was during আমরা GP IPO তে কাজ করছিলাম তখন
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
but you know that's life and we got used to working long hours from there
nice so CTNA 4 years of comfortable corporate experience so তারপরে আপনার what happened how did you really make that leap
so experience I wouldn't say comfortable but it was fulfilling I would say it was a fulfilling experience
of course.
but I liked it and we were doing well I got my promotion I got to lead a business planning strategy unit so at a good position there
4 years in CTNA I'm sure you earned like crazy right
it was good it could have been better but it's not bad
of course,
everything যেটা হলো মানে I know that people don't take inspiration from movies these are all made up
right
but interestingly ওই সময়টা 2013 সালে I saw a movie it's called 3 Idiots
right
and there's a book it was based on a book but I didn't like the book that much the movie was much more well 5 point someone
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
but I think the book the movie was much better made means Amir Khan with his magic and also
amazing
the director's first movie this was amazing and ওখানে একটা line stuck to me so Amir Khan was trying to convince his friend, right, that why you should go for photography and not go to a.
Right.
And he mentioned that when you're 70 and lying in hospital bed, you're not going to regret the things that you did.
Right.
You'll regret the things that you didn't do.
Absolutely.
And somehow that stuck with me. And I look back and I said that, you know, why, you know, do I want to. I wanted to do quality work, but I wanted to do something because when I graduated, I wanted to be a business, wanted to have my own business. So, ওখান থেকে first I did a launched.
So আপনি যে তখন তারপরে আপনার রেজিগনেশন দিয়ে যে আপনি বিজনেস শুরু করেন আপনি কি ডিড ইউ নো হোয়াট ইউ ওয়ান্টেড টু ডু
no idea so first I reach out to my one of my close friends
before you resigned this is before you resigned
yeah this is before I resigned so you know I say that
Right.
let me at least talk to see
of course
I would like co-founders
Right.
I don't believe in doing things alone I believe in working in teams
absolutely
so Zahid used to work at HSBC and he was leaving HSBC because he wanted to do something different he said that worked in a bank it's fine but he wanted to maybe work in a development organization like ADB or something
right.
and he was the youngest AVP in the history of HSBC Bangladesh he was a very high performing individual
right wow.
and then Ifdat who used to work at Standard Chartered and then become the director of youth leadership in
Acha.
BYLC
right
he also left and he wanted to do something and then go for his MBA
right
and I just contacted both of them
Right.
initially Zahid and then Ifdat and then he thought okay we will start something and then we gave our resignations and we left
so something টা কি আপনি জানতেন যে ডেটা নিয়ে কাজ করবেন
no idea we just know that we will do something on our own
oh my god and just blind মানে leap
yeah so we thought that means you need to take a leap because we were unmarried then and
thank god for that
and hopefully
কিছু একটা করে খাবো ওটাই
yeah so we'll figure out we will do something and if nothing happens we can all go back to work it's not that
True,
we won't get back work I'm sure that
absolutely
even if we went back to the organizations again and said okay rehire us they wouldn't I think mind that much then we reached out to one other partner called Saif who had an existing IT business
right
and he had an experience in asset management Mayas right and then he said because he had done entrepreneurship before we said why don't we form a company and that was the start we didn't know it was called LightCastle
right
but we thought that we will start something so that was the start
so apne Zahid bhai Ifdat bhai Saif bhai
right
the four of us so from 3 idiots to 4 idiots just joking so yeah so তারপর আপনারা basically চারজন মিলে তারপর how did this data thing come to play
so that was
how did you figure out what you want to do and what your company is going to be called
so when we started so we thought what we should do so because we have worked with models all our lives. So we made a model. So we had a model that we need to find something that we have expertise in that we can do.
Right.
Like if you wanted to become a rock star, we can do that, right? We don't have expertise in that. And then we need to something that we are passionate about. Otherwise, what's the point of leaving the job, right?
Absolutely.
And thirdly, there is a demand for the market. So it has to be a subset of market demand, passionate, and expertise.
Shit.
And
that's like the
it was.
philosophy.
We later found out that it's like the Ikigai philosophy, but we didn't know it then.
Of course, amazing.
And then we figured out that data is something that matches. There is a big demand for data in the market.
মানে একদম center.
Yeah, send data, and we have worked with data, huge amounts of data in our work.
Right.
And of course, we are very passionate about data because we learn to look at algorithms, we learn to look at technology, we like to look at deep learning. We like to develop models based on Excels and different softwares.
Fantastic.
So that is where we came up with data.
I'm really excited to hear more, ladies and gentlemen. আমাদের সাথে আছে Bijon Islam from LCP, and we're gonna learn more about LCP, what LightCastle partner does, and data. What is this fuss? What should I say? What is so hard about data? So we're gonna hear all of that. So bhai amra ekta chotto break nibo before we progress on to your story. So amra ekta apnari ekta priyo gan shunbo. So after we listen to the song, we're gonna take a little break and we're gonna come back and hear more about LCP. So ekhon amra shunbo Codeline All I Want, right? Perfect. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
90.4 FM. Startup Talk with Zaki Adnan. Startup Talk.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You're listening to Startup Talk with me, Zaki Adnan, on Dhaka FM 90.4. We have the amazing Bijon Islam from LightCastle Partners. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Again, thank you so much for making time and joining us and sharing your story. So I'm ekটু আগে ভাইয়ার amazing 3 idiots story শুনছিলাম, how they leaped from their career into forming a company without really knowing what they wanted to do, how audaciously brave it is. So this should inspire listeners. Say it's okay not to know when you decide to make the jump, right?
Yeah, you solve the people problem first. Get your co-founders first, and then you can do anything you want.
Absolutely. এটা নিয়ে আমি একটু কথা বলতে চাই ভাই, যে how important it is to find the right partner to start something or do something.
It's so like finding a wife is very important, right? Partner, it's similar to that.
Everything, right?
It's similar to that.
But it dictates the success and your motivation.
Yeah, because
everything.
You're going to work with these people 14, 16, 20 hours a day.
If you can't get along with them.
Yeah, so it's the people. People is always first.
Absolutely. So you got to love people who you're working with, right? Absolutely. Fantastic. So ভাই আমি এখন যেটা জানতে চাই, and I'm sure listeners are aching to find out as well, and I'm sure যারা LightCastle partners, enthusiasts, and people who would love to work with you have already learned a lot about you from your website and whatnot, but আমাদের listenerরা যারা এখনো clearly জানে না যে LCP entirely কি করেন, so we'd love to hear about what LCP is all about.
Right, so আমাদের startটা ছিল is again solving problems with data. We helped organizations make actual good decisions with data. So that's what's our main wing, LightCastle Partners does. It does data analytics advisory work, and recently we have also, over the last 2-3 years, we have also evolved into more of like a strategy consulting firm as well.
Right. So sorry for interrupting, but একটু যদি breakdown করি, so what does it really mean? At a layman perspective, data analytics and consulting, এটা বলতে exactly আপনি কি?
Right, so data
what does it entail?
basic ইয়েতে দেখি, you have to capture the data,
right?
You have to store the data,
right?
You have to analyze the data, and you have to make decisions with the data.
So আপনারা যে এই সার্ভিসেস গুলো যে কোম্পানি থেকে দেন, ওরা কি কারেন্টলি এটা করছে না?
ওরা করে, হয়তো they are not doing it well, অথবা they want to do it better, অথবা they want to have involve more technology in the process.
Okay, so
and often they want a third person view of that instead of doing it themselves.
Amazing. There you go. So that's the value that LCP is delivering. So not only do you provide this service to companies who are already doing it, but you're also providing this service to the companies who haven't yet started, but
mostly companies who does it, but we are bringing in more technology, more analytics, more specialized skills, so that they can do it better.
Right. So analytics and consultation, Tapar?
The second unit that we launched because it actually was called LightCastle Analytics, which is a more pure player technology firm, and that mostly works with machine learning, neural programming, deep learning, big data capture,
Amazing.
dashboard. So those are more pure player technology firm that supports the LCP's work
Right.
and bring it to clients.
Okay. So LCA.
LCA, we call it LCA.
Right, LCA. And
Then we have recently launched another unit. It's called LightCastle Impact. In fact, we launched this in April, which is a small business accelerator and impact investments firm.
Amazing.
And we're starting off with agricultural-based, ag technology-based businesses. We're going to open a few batches, maybe 4 over the next couple of years, and invest between $1 to $2 million or do investor linkages for agri-technology startups.
Amazing. So agri-tech acceleration. So LCI is LightCastle Impact.
Right.
So I would love to hear more about that. But what else do you do?
And the last is we call it LightCastle Center for Advanced Learning, where we mainly do professional trainings on business analytics, business strategy, project management, data analytics, things like
Your
that.
expertise that you essentially
Right.
train people with. Amazing, fantastic. So চারটা so আপনি ফার্ম বলছিলেন. So what does this mean? Is LCP like a holding company or
Yes,
a parent
LCP
company
is the parent company where it all started, and just a consecutive that builds on LCP's expertise, track record. Often we sell a future product to an existing client, so that's our strategy, right? So we have an LCP client who becomes a client of LCA and LCI, LCAM, things like that.
Amazing. So it's more of an ecosystem.
Right.
There's a sense of ecosystem in what you're
and
doing.
the core
well,
is
right?
all, of course, data. Means everything we do from our impact investments to our financial analytics to our making
driven by
dashboards,
data.
The softwares we build, everything is data. So data analytics is the center.
Amazing, fantastic. So bhai, আমি personally as a startup ecosystem guy, I would love to hear more about, and I'm sure আমাদের listeners যারা শুনছে, they would love to hear more about the impact investment that you have got going on. So ওটা নিয়ে যদি একটু
Right. So impact investments essentially looks at our ক্ষেত্রে small and medium businesses who have a triple bottom line agenda. By triple bottom line, I mean they care for profit. We don't want charity, of course, but they also care about the people and the planet. So we call it the triple bottom line companies.
Triple bottom line companies.
Right.
Triple bottom line agenda.
Companies. So they have profit and they care for the people and they also care for the planet.
Amazing. So এটা কি মানে এই business গুলা, are they actively tracking separate KPIs for each of these?
For example, they understand that caring for the people and planet on top of profit ensures sustainability.
Of course.
You can be a business for the long run if you don't cater to the other two.
Absolutely.
So they definitely, when they have tracking, they make sure that they know what the impact they are creating, how many employment they are creating.
Right.
For example, because I'm bringing the example of GP, like they could have built any building, right? But they built an environmentally sustainable building. Why is that? Because they care about the planet.
Absolutely.
So that, but much more in smaller scale.
Okay, so LCI এখন আপনাদের যে অ্যাক্সিলারেটর প্রোগ্রামটা আছে, সরি, সো এই অ্যাক্সিলারেটর প্রোগ্রামটাতে কি ধরেন আমার যদি একটা ফার্ম থাকে who cares about the profit, people and planet, can I apply for?
If it's in the agri sector, definitely we look forward to it. So please do get us touching that. Right now we are just focusing on agri on the first year.
Right.
Maybe
Going
maybe
forward,
second year we will look at other sectors as well.
Right. Okay, so আপনারা one sector at a time এভাবে progress করবেন. Okay. So আপনাদের right now, is there a limitation or as to how many farms you will be accelerating?
Yeah, so plan is to start with 15.
Start with 15
and then maybe do up to 60 in a couple of years.
Up to 60 in a couple of years. Wow, nice. So it's going to be a long-term thing, not a one-time acceleration fund.
Yeah, so the acceleration program itself is between 3 to 6 months. But the funding that gets provided is more long-term. The funding ranges anything for between even 2 to 5 to 6 years. So that's the funding range.
Okay, so একটা ফার্মের জন্য, is it okay for you to share?
Yeah, sure.
So if it's okay for you to share, the active agri-tech company, up to how much investment are they open to
so we have
from
we do different investor linkages. So we have a bit of fund that we have worked with our partners Syngenta Foundation and Venture Investment Partners Bangladesh, and we have another partner called True Value International, and there the limit is up to around $270,000. That's the maximum limit.
Wow! So per firm,
and it starts anything between even $10,000
depending on the need.
Depending on the
right. So how does a company, what are the top 3 to 5 things that you look for when you're selecting a candidate?
Yeah, of course. We first look at the team, right?
The triple, okay.
The people, because whatever agenda that you have, if the people are not right,
of course,
it doesn't matter. Right?
Absolutely.
Second, definitely we're looking at the business. So it's an agri-tech company. Doesn't need to be very technologically scalable. We said that we are not here in the business of funding, say, unicorns. We're here in the business of funding zebras, solid businesses, right? And these are companies who have been in operations for a year, something will go into profit, and they need funds for expansion, building quality businesses. So not necessarily it has to be very disruptive or anything like that. It has to be quality business where the founders and the team has a vision to take it forward.
So the tech part is also very essential, right? It has to be an agri-tech company.
Not necessarily, but technology come in very different forms. It can be ICT, it can be e-commerce, it can be even a new way of doing things. What is technology? That makes life easier, right? So if they have a new process engineering of producing vegetables, that's also technology. We don't limit technology to just hardware or software. Technology is a new way of doing things as well.
Amazing. So how does this LCI thing work? Is it open for all, or?
So right now what we're doing is we're looking for good companies. We haven't formally opened it yet, but we will. Mainly now it's invite only, but we will be posting in a few open social media pages like our Facebook page. Right. Different groups that are out there who has a lot of entrepreneurs. We'll be posting on those groups as well. But it's mainly the accelerator program is where we, after discussion, we find it's a more or less invite only, but we'll definitely at least do it through social media.
Fantastic. After the 3 to 6 months journey, has it already been set?
Yes, we have piloted it over with 4 batches.
It's already?
Yes, we have already done 4 batches. It's a very interesting journey where you start with understanding the business model canvas. So largely we help in business capacity development.
Nice.
And then we help in product development. Then we help in forward market linkages.
How often do these incubies get to hear from you guys? How often? How connected are you
To
guys?
start with, twice a month during the accelerator program of 3 to 6 months, depending on where it is, the batch length varies. And then we keep in touch like every month. We have
post-acceleration.
we have regional offices. We go there, we meet them, try to make sure they're in touch and everything.
So post-acceleration.
But previously this was not linked to the fund. So this is the first time we're also linking with the fund, because previously we had just the accelerator program. We didn't have LCI impact.
Capacity development,
market linkage, and maybe just investor linkages directly. But now that it's backed by the fund, it's much more stronger.
Right. Absolutely. So, if you don't mind me asking, do you also take stakes in the investments?
Yeah, so we're starting with a particular type of instruction called quasi-equity and SEF. These are called simple agreement for future equities.
Okay.
So these are very popular outside.
Simple
agreement for future equity. It's called SEF agreement.
Okay.
And the other one is quasi-equity. It's not fully equity, where it's mainly equity. But after a certain time, the entrepreneur can buy back his equity through revenue sharing or profit sharing.
Wow, nice.
So it's a different kind of structure because I don't think the small businesses are ready for direct common stock purchase yet. But these are more simpler structures to get them started.
Fantastic. Great. So I personally will definitely forward you leads of any promising agri-tech companies I come across. So that's amazing. So আমি ভাই অনেক বেশি টাইম নিয়ে নিছি আপনার একটা পার্সপেক্টিভ নিয়ে কথা বলতে গিয়ে, but we'll come back and we'll hear more about what you're doing in the fronts of analytics and what you're doing in the fronts of LCal, and also most importantly the beef, the patty of our conversation, the data. We'll be talking about details of what's up with the world of data. So amra ekta break nibo bhaiya. We're going to listen to a very interesting rendition of Hallelujah, which happens to be one of your favorite songs as well. So amra Bon Jovi eta jeta amio jibono shuni nai, but I would love to check it out. So we're going to listen to Bon Jovi's rendition of Hallelujah. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. We'll be right back after the break.
Dhaka FM 90.4.
Startup Talk with Zaki Adnan. Startup Talk.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? You are listening to Startup Talk with me, Zaki Adnan, on Dhaka FM 90.4. We have the Superman of LightCastle Partners with us, the CEO and co-founder, Bijon Islam. Assalamualaikum bhai, কেমন আছেন?
Islam, thank you.
Super great stories bhai, আমি খুবই enjoy করছি, and I personally am learning a lot I personally am very interested in investment and hopefully someday aspire to be a VC myself. So আজকে নতুন দুটো টার্ম শিখলাম ভাই কাছ থেকে। একটা হচ্ছে triple bottom line model, which is people, profit, planet. Amazing. And the safe
simple agreement for future equity.
Simple agreement for future and equity. Perfect. Quasi equity. Great. I'll look it up and I'll learn more. So super. So ভাইয়া আমরা LCP নিয়ে কথা বললাম। এখন আপনাদের কোর যেটা, something that you've I'm sure been living with for the past 5 years now?
Yeah, almost 5.
In fact, more, including your career journey. So data. What is up with data? Why is data so important all of a sudden? And tell us what we need to know, what people needs to know about the importance of data.
So what has happened is that data has been always there, has been always created, right? From the beginning of the human civilization, right? So why now we are calling the data age? Data is the new wire, it's the big data era. Now it's dark data, lean data, open data. The fact is that previously...
What is dark data, lean data?
So these are more, but we'll definitely get to that as well. The fact is that previously, till now, data has not been so easy to capture.
Right.
Like this conversation that we are having, we are recording it, and I can run a very simple algorithm.
Right.
We can have this algorithm, and that can analyze what this conversation is all about. Right. So we don't need any expensive technology to do that. We can do that on a like $200-$300 smartphone. Right.
Absolutely.
So because data is so easy to capture and analyzing it has become so cost effective, that's why companies can use it to gain competitive edge.
Okay.
And because the digital world, we call it life in secondary screen, has become so important, where the importance of data is much more, that's why data gains so much momentum that has not been before. So it's cheap technology with life in secondary screen versus so much easy to capture and analyze. That's why data has become so important now.
So capturing is the ability to capture data is what has suddenly created.
For example, you have Internet of Things, right? Even lights are smart now. Light turns on when you get in. Light turns off when you get out. You can see what's happening in the calling bell. You can track your car on the smartphone. Right. Data captures everywhere. Everything is smart nowadays. So that means the data, lot more data is being created and captured very easily.
এটা কি মানে খুব recently এই capturing
recently this has become very cost effective. So previously even the US Army had a huge computer, right? Right. But when basically IBM once said that the market for personal computers is only 5 PCs and they lost out big time. We see where everyone now carries a smartphone, everyone all over the world, and that is why it has become so cheap to capture and analyze the data. That's why it's getting so much momentum.
So এই মানে আপনার সাথে কথা বলছিলাম যে last 2 বছরে 90% of
90% of the data in the world today has been created in the last 2 years. It has captured, it has become so easy.
Right. So a data industry এখন what's up with the data industry? বাংলাদেশে এই data analytics industry টা এখন কোন stage এ আছে? Or
globally the market is around 400 billion cross. Bangladesh, I think the market is around $30 to $40 million as of now. It's still small compared to many other industries, but
it just pretty much started, right?
It's an issue.
You're probably one of the first companies.
There are a few companies out there as well. I think we're one of the more first that took technology very seriously.
Right.
Previously, so when you think about data, what do you think? Companies mainly think of external data like market. They think about market share, brand share. Digital marketing thinks about click-through rates, CPR, things like that. But you have to understand that that's just one part of the data and where mostly traditional companies have concentrated. But the data starts at your home. Your company has a lot of data that you are not structuring it. So you have marketing departments having marketing data, sales team having sales data, finance team has a very finance data which is kept very secret. Nobody even knows how much GP is earning. But I think that there is no integration of the data where combination of this data happens.
Okay.
And that's starting very recently where these departments are not silos. They've started communicating with each other and a lot more new data sources have come in that wasn't there before.
Right. So integration ta, how is it really making a difference? Or এটা কিভাবে মানে what should I say, একটা কোম্পানিকে গ্রো করতে হেল্প করছে?
For example, things like return on marketing, return on investment, things weren't there before. But now this has become more real time, more active. Whenever you do a particular campaign, you can basically see whether it's generating in sales, what are the trend. You can
Which was never
done before
trackable or done
trackable
before,
before.
Right?
And you can basically artificial intelligence is so powerful that you can almost track everything. For example, I don't know if you have checked the new Gmail suite, but basically it can now tell you that if you haven't replied to your mail on a day, it will reply you haven't replied back to this mail automatically.
Really?
Yes,
Has it started?
It started.
মানে আপনি কি পাইছেন?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh wow.
And it is, the new interface is fantastic, and these kind of things, I'm not saying the company needs to go into that.
আমি ওই IO তে দেখতেছিলাম যে ওই আপনার all the AI
that's already
functionalities. Really?
Yeah, it's already there.
Does it also like smart analyze the next word that you're
it basically gives you 3 options to reply back on every mail.
Wow.
Depending on what kind of language you use.
Wow. Nice, amazing. So এখন এমনিতে ধরেন ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে আপনার how does it work? Usually ধরেন আপনাদের সাথে when you interact with companies who you want to give your services out to. ধরেন একটা কোম্পানি আসলো আপনার কাছে, ঠিক আছে? ওরা they want to structurize and they want to reap the benefits of data. So what is the first step you say?
So maybe I can walk you through a case. That'll be useful. So there's this large company that came to us. It's a global, I think the global's largest player in the agri business. It's called Syngenta Foundation.
Right.
It's the foundation wing for the group conglomerate Syngenta.
Right.
So when they came to us, they had this whole data and they wanted to benchmark their performance on that.
Right.
And so we took the whole data that they had, we analyzed that and give them a strategic insights. Okay, this is the data that they have. Then we figured out they're not capturing a lot of the data that will be very useful. For example, product, customer level, transaction level information. They're doing it, but those are in maybe copies on the shops.
Right.
They're not.
So digital capture.
Yeah, but digital capture happens maybe after 15 days.
Okay.
Someone sees that and types it in Excel and sends it to you. So
but ওইটারও কোনো implication or application
software, but it is like a 15-day lag.
Oh my
it's not
God,
real time. And we figured that if we can give them a real-time solution of data capturing, that could happen. So we basically started with developing a POS system where during the transaction data gets uploaded, that has automated algorithms on the background, and it gets uploaded into automated dashboards.
Nice.
And we have launched this in Bangladesh. Hopefully we'll be launching this in Senegal and some other countries like Indonesia soon.
Nice.
Maybe in India as well. But that's the power of data. Previously that took 15 days of analytics, is now being automated. And that's just only one source, transaction level data.
Amazing.
Think of if you have marketing level data, social media data, competition data, economic data. If you can bring all those data in, how powerful your model can become.
Absolutely. So before the show we were also talking about where you see the future of data industry heading towards.
I think data is going to go through democratization because there's a huge value that will get unlocked. For example, because Google Map is open, we can build so many applications over Google Map, right? So many. But if it was closed, we couldn't have, right? For the same reason, Google Images or Photos doesn't take space. I don't know if you know that.
Sorry,
but if you save images in Google Photos, it doesn't take up space. It's free.
Google Photos use
if you use it, it's free because Google can access all your photos for free, and they can use to analyze their face recognition algorithm.
Oh my God.
But that's what I'm saying. It's open, right?
Achha.
So we see data will get democratized, and the service will mostly be in analytics, algorithms, advisory, consulting services will be around that. But data will become open. There are already initiatives like open government data. So we work with the A2I Prime Minister's office, and we build out the country's first open data platforms. You can visit it. It's called data.gov.bd. Still in beta.
I'll definitely check it out.
And
so what kind of data do we get there?
So it's initially just economic, agricultural, list of numbers-based data.
And these are not available anywhere else?
Maybe it's available, but you have to do 30 minutes of Google search to get this data.
It's aggregation.
You have to maybe visit 60 websites.
Wow.
You don't want to do that.
Of course, absolutely.
So it's
Why
like a
would
Google search for data on Bangladesh.
Amazing.
And
wow.
very soon we'll be launching a platform from our end as well. So we're still going. We have not figured with the name yet.
Okay.
But that will be like Google search for data on Bangladesh.
Wow.
And we see data will get democratized. Few part of it always be competitive, but a huge amount of will get democratized, and that will add a lot of growth to the economy.
Amazing, beautiful, fantastic. It's very inspiring. So I myself believe in the whole idea of democratizing everything pretty much, and then building your businesses on value addition. So আমরা ভাইয়া আরো অনেক কিছু নিয়ে কথা বলবো, বাট আমরা একটা ছোট ব্রেক নিই and we'll listen to one of your favorite songs as well. আপনি ইউফোরিয়া একটা গান শুনতেছেন. What's the name of the song?
Abnaja.
Perfect. So ladies and gentlemen, check this out. We're going to listen to Abnaja by Euphoria, and we'll be right back after this break.
Startup Talk with Zaki Adnan. Startup Talk.
Hey guys, what's up? We're back for the very last time, unfortunately, and I was having the most amazing discussion with the Superman of LCP, LightCastle Partners, the co-founder and CEO, Bijon Bhai. I'm
doing well, thank you.
খুবই enjoy করছিলাম, and I wish you, I don't want to keep you what should I say, captured for longer, but I could talk with you for hours because I'm loving the conversation, and I'm actually genuinely learning a lot, and I hope আমাদের লিসেনাররাও এনজয় করছে. সো ভাই আমরা শেষের দিকে চলে আসছি অলমোস্ট শোয়ের. সো আপনাকে জাস্ট আরো কয়েকটা famous last words নিয়ে একটু বলার করবো. So my second last question to you would essentially be যে startup founderদের জন্য যদি আপনি dedicatedly কিছু, if you could say a few words on how they can really reap benefits from this data revolution.
I think being a young business ourselves who was a startup in the data industry, I think if you want to build a business that provides data products or data services or data analytics to different clients, I think one of the things that I have seen over the last few years that a lot of companies are building a lot of technology to visualize data, dashboards, integration, but they are often not thinking of capturing data. When we started as a company, one of the routes that we take, we said that we'll build the technology later on. Our first client actually got a dashboard in an Google Sheets workbook.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's very simple technology.
Absolutely.
But the
Prototype.
first step is actually building that database, right? So we focused on capturing a huge amount of data. And we build strong partnerships with even telcos like Telenor. We actually built a partnership with Wowbox. We built a lot of other partnerships with a lot of organizations where we can access their data and build algorithms on top of it. I think data analytics startups should also focus not just on solely visualizing or writing algorithms, because you need data to work on. So one of the first steps should be on how you can capture a lot of data. And it's not very easy to capture data because you need to have a field force, have a very strong partnerships, maintain very strong confidentialities.
Right.
For example, we work with both Telenor and Ruby Axera. So we maintain very strong NDAs.
Wow.
Making sure that part is, I think that's the first and most important advice. Focus on capturing quality data, making sure.
Amazing, fantastic. So there you go, people who are working with data and who can really take some words of wisdom from Bijon Bhai himself with his experience in the data industry. So bhai, I mean, one last word of what should I say, wisdom for the young students jara ekhono dhoren I don't know, in their universities, and they hear about this a lot, data analytics, digital marketing, data specialization. So what word of advice would you give to them যে ওরা কিভাবে শুরু করবে, কোথায় যাবে, ওদের অ্যাসপিরেশনটা কিভাবে ওরা মোল্ড করবে? If you could say a few words on that.
I think I will give 3 takeaways on this, 3 specific ways.
Sure.
One is there is a massive amount of open resources on data analytics. These are open on free courses on Coursera, EDX, and a huge amount of open online courses from other universities, and these are free. You just need to focus on your time, and if you even pay a very small amount, you often can get a certificate from MIT, Harvard, or Duke, top universities, and these are very quality certificates. Your value will only increase.
Absolutely.
So go through these courses. I personally attended a few very value adding, and you'll complete that at your own pace. So if you're thinking about data analytics, building a career on that, go first to a Google search, and you will have a huge amount of courses out there.
Fantastic.
So that's the first takeaway.
Brilliant.
The second is I often don't see a lot of my I say acquaintances do it. is to read a lot. The only way you're going to improve is by reading. So if you want to become a better writer, no matter how much you practice writing, you will not get better. So if you want to become a better analyst, better thinker, or have better perspective, get better something, you have to read a lot. And that's why I would say that at least target maybe 10-12 books a year, quality books, fiction, non-fiction, perspectives, doesn't matter. Read quality books, that
Will
actually
really-
increases your...
Amazing.
You can try out Kindle. I'm a big fan of Kindle, but now I'm gone back to hard copy books. But read a lot. I don't read
Do
often.
you read a lot?
By
sure
my
you do.
standards, I don't read a lot. So
What do you mean your standards, man? How?
I think
I'm sure you have
ideally
a very high standard.
I should be reading 4 or 5 books a month.
Okay.
I roughly read just maybe 1 book a month, so that's very slow.
But that's still amazing, man.
No,
I'm
my
sure after-
wife reads 6-7 books a month, and